Dear friends, welcome to the new video here which is on division methods. My dear friends, I have showed quite a few methods here. These methods are the ones which have been used up by my students in my earlier classes, and I have found these methods to be quite useful and very easy compared to their earlier learning. So that is why I thought of making this video and taking you all through these methods. The first method here is a very easy method of division. What I have observed with students is that if at all there is a numerator and there is a denominator, whether they know the multiplication table or not, they just end up dividing directly. For example, if I give you 255 by 35. So here what they do is they take 35, they start dividing 255, the numerator, by 35. So here just think, you need to note the multiplication table, right, and you exactly need to know, or you need to have the clue as which table or in which place does this 255 or near 255 comes, and you should also be very much well versed with the division. Don't you think it's a little tedious? So what I did is, why don't we just divide both the numerator and the denominator by a common number, and this common number is the one which can divide both the numerator and the denominator. So if you observe here, what can be the common number? Take the units place of the numerator, 5. The denominator, again it is 5. So we know there's one fact in division, that any number which is ending up with 5 is always divisible by 5. Got it? Any number which is ending by 0 and 5 is always divisible by 5. So why don't we just divide both the numerator and the denominator by 5? So on doing this, what do we get is 51 by 7. Don't you think this is quite easy? And 7 is a multiplication table which we have been practicing since our childhood, and it's so easy to divide. And going further, next I have 984 and dividing by 4. So here again, dear friends, what I have done here, I have directly now checked whether this is divisible by 4 or not, and I started dividing by 4. In case if you don't know whether it divides by 4 or not, being on the safer side, you can divide by 2. I am showing this in the example 3. So what I have done, coming to the example 3 here, it is, the number is 4596, dividing it by 24. So first what I do, I start dividing it by 2. Why? Because any number, if it is ending by even number in its units place, as we see in the example, the units place has 6 in the numerator. So if it is having 6 in the numerator, then that number should be divisible by 2, and of course even the denominator should also be having a number which should be divisible by 2. So what I have done is, I divided by 2 and I ended up getting 2298 by 12, and still we can see that it is still an even number which is on in the units place on both numerator and denominator. Again start dividing it by 2 once more. So which I got it 1149 by 6. Again we can still go for further division, 383 by 2. Don't you think now it is quite simple and we have made it so easy? Yes, my dear friends. Now go back to the second one, 984 divided by 4. 984, we are dividing it by 4. What I did is, I took a direct division by 4, since I knew 984 is divisible by 4. In case if you don't know, yes, we have a method, divide it by 2, right? So since I know it is divisible by 4, I made a division by 4 on both the numerator and denominator. So I got it as 246 by 1, which is 246. So dear friends, here one thing we need to know is, we need to start dividing by the very smallest number starting from 2. Go for 2, then 3, then 4 and 5 and 10. So initially if it has to be divided by 4, it means that it gets divided by 2, and if it has to be divided by 10, it means that it will always be divisible by 5. That is the simplest number. Then 3 being the even or odd number, yes, you can try that. 7 is an odd number, yes, you can try that. And if you know that, yeah, can this number divisible by 9, it means that number has to be divisible by 3. Can this number be divisible by 8? If you get this question, yes, this number has to be divisible by 4 or 2. So you can try that. My dear friends, if you just follow this step, it's so damn easy to go for division, and we can divide anything with accuracy, without any questions, without any errors, and we can do it quite faster. You see that as you practice. So for that, I've given some practice sums. So please go ahead and practice them. Next is division with more than one numerator or denominator. So here I will directly take you to the examples. So here I've got 2 into 1 by 2. So here you should not term this as 2 and a half. It is 2 into 1 by 2. So what I did is, I have taken 2 as 2 by 1. I hope you will agree with me. Into 1 as 1 by 2. Okay. So here let me just take out the answer. Yeah. So here it is 2 into, I took 2 as 2 by 1 into 1 as 1 by 1 by 2. So here then I got it as, then multiply the numerators separately, multiply the denominators separately. So here what we got, 2 into 1 divided by 1 into 2. Yeah, here I got it like 1 into 2. So which is equal to 2 into 1 is 2 on the numerator side, and 1 into 2 is 2 on the denominator side, and dividing 2 by 2 we got it as 1. So next, similarly we go for 3 into 1 by 3. So here I've put up the answer. Yeah, I've put up the answer, but even without the answer, we take 3 as 3 by 1 into 1 as 1 by 3. Got it? So I can always take 3 as 3 by 1 because it doesn't harm. So 3, now you start separating the numerator multiplication and denominator multiplication. 3 into 1 and divided by 1 into 3, which is 3 by 3, which is 1. Next, go for the third one. Similarly, 10 into 1 by 10, it should be 1. 50 into 1 by 50, which should be 1. Again, 100 into 1 by 100, which should be 1. Probably you may feel that it's so easy. Yes, this is damn easy till you get this hands-on. Else, this becomes a nightmare. Having said this, giving you the practice sums, I request you guys to please go ahead and practice them. Let me take you for the third method, division with reciprocal or multiplicative inverse. This is the most commonly used method in all our divisions, and which is a must and should for every student. And very unfortunately, this is where every student gets confused. Let me take you here. The question I have here is 6 by 2 divided by 4 by 8. Now let's do one thing. Let's take the numerator and the denominator separately. So here I have 6 by 2, which is 3, and 4 by 2, which is, I am dividing it by 4, which is 1 by 2. So now we got. So 6 by 2, I set it as 3. 4 by 8, I set it as half. Here, if you observe, can I write 3 as 3 by 1? And then again we have the common division symbol here. Again write 1 by 2, which is nothing but 3 by 1 divided by 1 by 2. So here comes the matter of taking the reciprocal. Where do we take the reciprocal? We take it only on the denominator. When do we take the reciprocal? When in the denominator, if it's a fraction. Got my point? So here if you see, in the denominator I have 1 by 2. So I go for the multiplicative inverse or the reciprocal. So when I did that, the earlier one was 3 by 1 into, instead of being division, take it as into. Instead of half, just reverse it, it becomes 2 by 1. So here it is multiplying the numerator separately now and the denominator separately. 3 into 2 is 6 and 1 into 1 is 1, which is, the answer turns out to be 6. Can we do it again? Or shall I put you back with this method? Yes. So we had 6 by 2 and 4 by 8 in this question. So 6 by 2 we know it is 3 divided by 4 by 2 which was half. What I did here, I took the numerator separately, I divided it. I took the denominator separately, I divided it. And now I combined. Since in the denominator I have a fraction, I go for taking the multiplicative inverse. When I said it is multiplicative inverse, there won't be division anymore. Rather, it will be multiplication. And where will the multiplicative inverse comes? It comes to the denominator. So, numerator will be untouched. So, 3 by 1 was a numerator, I kept it as it is. So, instead of saying division, I made multiplication, and instead of half, it turned out to be 2 by 1 because it is a multiplicative inverse. And now, we are doing the multiplication separately, and the resultant one would be the answer. So, when in the third method, we talked on the multiplicative inverse, and now here let us talk on the denominator having the fraction. Yes, when you understand on the multiplicative inverse, the rest all the methods are quite similar, they are same and they will be easy. So, 8 by 1, 8 divided by 1 by 5, this is a question. So, here what I do, I will take 8 as 8 by 1. I hope you know this method which I have shown it in my earlier questions, right. Then division, which is a common one. Now 1 by 5. So 8 by 1, we take the multiplicative inverse of the denominator, which is into 5 by 1, which turns out, now separate out the numerators, separate out the denominators. 8 by 5 divided by 1 to 1. Next, go for the eighth one. 44 divided by 4 by 9. As I said, denominator has a fraction. So, when it is a denominator having the fraction, what do? Reverse it into its multiplicative inverse. So, 44, take it as 44 by 1 divided by 4 by 9. So, 44 by 1 into, it is supposed to be 9 by 4, which turns out to be like 44 into 9, because numerator. So, here you observe 44 on the numerator side and 9 on the denominator side. Sorry, it is no more a numerator, no more a denominator. 44 by 1 into 9 by 4. So, 44 into 9 divided by 1 into 4, which turns out to be 11 into 9, which is 99 by 1. Why did we go for this? Look, 44 divided by 4, which is 11. Next, having said this, I will take you for both the numerator and having the denominator as fractions. Probably this is quite similar to the third one what we discussed on reciprocal or multiplicative inverse. Yes, as again the general rules, work on the numerator separately, work on the denominator separate. Make them separate. So, 98 by 20, which is 49 by 10. How did we do this? We started dividing by the simplest number, which is 2 there. 98 divided by 2 would be 49 and 20 divided by 2 would be 10. Got it? Next, 8 by 4, which is 2 by 1. Now, 2 by 1, the reciprocal of 2 by 1 is 1 by 2. So, therefore, the earlier 98 by 20 turned out to be 49 by 10. Instead of division, because I am taking the multiplicative inverse, it became into. So, instead of 2 by 1, it became 1 by 2. Now, multiplying the numerator separate. 49 into 1. Next, 10 into 2, which is 94 by 20, which is 47 by 10. Next, hope you guys understood the 9th one. Let's move for the 10th one here. 256 by 12. Work on this separately. Go for this simple division first. Yes, here you observe, I divided by 2. Next, 25 by 125. As you know, the number ended with 5, so I can easily divide them by 5. So, I got the answer. Then take its reciprocal, which turned out to be 5 by 1. Next, 64, it's simplified to 64 by 3 divided by 1 by 5, which is nothing but 64 by 3 into 5 by 1. Why? It is a reciprocal of the denominator. So, 64 into 5 and 3 into 1. So, this is how we can make the division more easy, and we can make our life in maths the easiest one and most enjoyable one. And here I have given you quite a number of practice sums. Please go ahead, practice them, and as we move on, you see a new life and new experience with maths. Thank you.